We are evolved to have a mixed diet.
Oh, blow me, dude. Blow me,
Yeah, I know.
Hey, Jim, you promised
That's better
me
than
first,
vegan
man.
chips.
I know. I don't eat that kind of meat, by the way. Just so you know.
Hey,
I mean,
pay the rent somehow, man.
Gus.
we have
You don't get any, Gus. You get nothing. Gus.
I know, dear.
anything.
I know. It's
Let me
okay.
ask you a question.
Go ahead, Tom. Jump
I
in.
know.
Okay, so if you had to kill your own meat, your own chicken, your own cow,
Right.
would that change your perspective? Like if it was at your house, chicken, would you actually go through the killing process?
I think it would, Tommy. Anyone else?
I think it
I've
would.
done it.
I'd chase that
I've done
fucker
it.
around with an axe, laughing like a madman. What other
You wouldn't feel bad, Gus.
I've skinned a rabbit. I've shot a pig between the eyes.
What other circumstance in modern living can you get giggling at the top of your lungs, run half naked at a piece of fucking poultry with an axe in your hand, except to fucking eventually eat it? I mean, seriously. And cows. I mean, that would just be even more fun. First, I'd get the sledgehammer.
Seeds are
Then
not.
I agree,
then I'd get
sugar.
the wood splitter and the. I get the wood splitter and the power tools, man.
Propagation by multiple aspects. It's just not in your aspect. I mean, just imagine. Just think about it. You're like, oh, they're seeds. They proliferate, and you're like, well, that's where they get their nutrient source. So basically, you're saying, oh yeah, fuck the seed. That's what you're doing, Gus.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Please, Gus.
Baby pigs are bacon seeds.
Gus, is your body weight in proportion right now to your diet?
You mean
Gus.
do I eat my? Do you mean
in other words, are you trim because you ate a good diet?
Do I eat my body weight in food? Are you asking me if I'm a brontosaurus, for fuck's sakes? What the fuck?
Exactly. You're like.
I don't think that. I
But
don't
a
think that
brontosaurus
matters.
is a
I don't
vegetarian,
think
weren't
that
they?
kind of stuff matters.
Listen. I don't keep the truth about myself from anybody. I'm a great big fatso, but big fucking deal.
Wouldn't you like to keep that body?
I'm still talking. Throughout different parts of my life, I have had different diets. Okay, when I was younger, I had a more balanced diet because I was younger. We didn't have a lot of food, so we had to make sure that what we had a bang for its buck, but my parents were watching over what I ate. When I got into my teens and I started getting pocket money, my diet started going all to crap. When I started working nights, my diet started going all to crap, even worse. As I got into my 30s and I righted myself and got some more reasonable work and started to put a reasonable amount of money back towards diet and started taking care and cooking and eating a more balanced meal. But by then, a lot of the damage to my metabolism had been done, both by eating poorly, working nights, and a half-sedentary lifestyle. But that's got nothing to do. That's got fuck all to do with whether or not human beings should eat meat or not, and it's got even less to do with whatever the fuck you were talking about with seeds.
Jim.
Okay, Gus, you really think that okay, Gus, let me give you this one logical.
Say my name one more time though, just to get yourself going.
Let me give you an example, Gus. Gus. So,
that's 4 times, not 3 times. Come on.
Okay, you're a big boy. I understand you have your pants on, right?
What is your point?
I guarantee you I have my pants on.
Just answer this question, Gus. Sunlight comes down to the ground.
Right.
A cow, which is a vegan, eats that.
Yes.
Sure.
Now you eat the cow. Now, logically speaking, tell me, are you getting secondary primary source? Yes or no?
Secondary primary source of what?
The nutrient that
Of the sunlight, I guess.
You just don't. Oh, you're just dodging. Oh,
Well, you didn't explain it correctly, Jim. Okay, I think Gus would admit that he's eating the secondary source because he ate the cow, which ate the grass, which was,
a vegan.
Think about it, Gus.
But a vegan provided his nutrient source, is what he's claiming.
That's not a human vegan.
Oh, look at you!
I wouldn't eat a human vegan. Do I look like a fucking cannibal to you?
Gus, I've never had a talk with you before. I've listened to you. I know you better than you know me. Okay, listen, Gus.
Yeah, I somehow doubt that, but carry on.
Yeah, really, because you're a big boy. I know you're. Really
Okay, Jim, get to your point.
Yes,
What
I'm a big boy.
is-
Go on.
Well, no, Gus. Just Gus wants to.
I'm not hiding it. You're not.
Gus has admitted.
Gus, let me get to your point.
Well,
Gus-
anytime, sweetheart. I ain't getting any younger, that's for sure.
Gus, your gut is huge.
Okay.
Thank you. I mean, he admitted himself, Jim.
Jim, I'm ashamed of you.
You're out of shape. You're not.
Yeah. And what does that have to do with eating cows?
But
you know,
Gus,
I don't eat them whole, right?
Gus, you could counter that. I'm sure there's plenty of out of shape vegans, right? Surely there are. There are overweight vegans.
I've seen some vegans that are pasty, skeletal. They got skin like paper. If I hit them one time, I'd probably knock them 60 years into the past. You know, I mean, it's just
that ass would never know that. Shut the fuck up.
It's just a different kind of unhealthy. That's all it is. Vegans have to make sure that they have certain nutrients that a vegan diet will naturally lack unless they're careful.
And you know this because you are vegan?
And meatists
you don't know this.
Yeah, let the man finish.
You know, Jim, crack is bad for you, eh?
You know what? Your ass is bad.
Hey, that's a rumor that's been spread around.
Yeah, really. Okay, listen, let me jump in here and try to temper the whole conversation. But I'd like to ask Gus one question first. Gus, have you tried veganism ever?
No.
Why not?
I've been a virtual vegan by dint of the fact that meat these days is awfully expensive, and so if you're going to get any of it, you'll get it as a part of a stew in a can or something like that. But have I ever gone completely vegan? No.
Okay. Anyone want to jump in about would the solution to Gus's problems be adopting veganism, or could he do a myriad of other choices to get back into health?
I don't know that it has anything specifically to do with Gus, but one thing to consider about meat in general is the way that these animals are treated just before they're slaughtered. You know, the chickens are cooped up in their own feces, crammed together, and so call me mystical or whatever you want to call it, but I think there may be something to the fact that the chicken's life before it's killed, if it may have, due to the overcrowding and the really crappy conditions that it's lived in, it may have some hormonal issues, and not to mention the hormones that are injected, and the antibiotics that are injected, and all the other crap that they're fed is going to end up in you.
Okay. Anyone?
All that stuff is going to end up in your body. Not talking about Gus specifically, but just how could that not contribute to obesity and a variety of obesity-related diseases?
Cancers, anything.
Yeah. Okay, look, I lost 60 pounds in the last 6 months. I eat meat. My doctor has told me, besides my COPD, because I smoke, that I'm in good health,
Besides the COPD, you're in good health.
Besides the COPD.
I mean, we all have our vice, but what I'm saying is I eat meat, I'm, relatively healthy, I'm not, I don't have, diseases from eating fucking hamburger, and I don't feel guilty about eating a pig.
But I know
I've raised pigs for slaughter.
By the way, Bunto, if you want to know a food that that will likely make people less healthy, Sugar touched on it earlier when she started talking about grain. Now, you're not Canadian. I don't know if anybody else here is, but for the longest time, what we had is something called the Canada's Food Guide. And the Canada's Food Guide was basically a pyramid of foods that as you moved from the top to the bottom of the pyramid, you were supposed to eat more, or you were supposed to eat less of as you moved from the top to the bottom. Okay. And what sat at the top of the pyramid? Grains and cereals. You were supposed to eat more grains and cereals than anything else in a day. Than anything. You don't believe me, Dipsmack? I'll fucking go get the Canada's Food Guide, you fucking crack baby. I'll go get it right now. Fetal alcohol, motherfucker. I'll fetch it up. You want me to go? Yeah, that's right. All of a sudden he falls silent. So, I mean...
Go get your fucking shit, dude. Go get it.
Get your shit. Hold on a second. I'll go get your shit.
You're the big talker. Fat fucking
let the man finish.
Fucking not even trying to be a vegan ever. Don't even consider anything. Look at you. You're in denial, dude. You're in denial, dude. Your health is on the line, dude.
Yeah, my health is on the line for more reasons than that, boy, let me tell you.
Jim, the man is just simply recounting in his experience. He's not advocating. I did not detect it either way for media.
As a matter of fact, there are finally people who are finally getting around to saying, look, the Canada's Food Guide is a mess. We should not be eating as much grains and cereals. But part of the reason the Canada's Food Guide was set up that way was partly political. Why? Because farmers, particularly grain farmers and corn farm. Well, it's more corn down in your country than up here. But it's not that we can't grow corn. It's just the States is better at it. Up here, where we have hardier strains of wheats and stuff like that, and so when and you go to a grocery store, one of the cheapest things to buy for years and years and years, and still the cheapest thing to buy is a loaf of bread. Now, a loaf of bread, you buy a pound of hamburger, and that might feed you for a couple of days, depending on how much of it you use in a thing. But if you buy a couple of loaves of bread, which is about half the price of a pound of hamburger, you can have toast basically morning, noon, and night for a week, right? And pretty much fill yourself up. But those are starches, and the body has a hell of a time dealing with starches. If it can't break the starches down in time, it packs it away as fat.
Yeah.
Right? But most weight loss programs will tell you. No. Most weight loss programs will tell you, watch your starches, watch your breads, watch your pasta.
When you combine sugar, yeast, and gluten together, you fermentate the body, and you know that. And don't be an asshole and say you don't know this, because you're a big fat fuck.
This is like debate 101 etiquette, all right?
I swear to God, he's just like, you're a fucker. And not only that, but you're a fucker. All right.
Okay, listen, we've talked enough about veganism. Wouldn't you agree, Sugar? Let's move it to the meta of this
topic that'll cause
which is
the fuck out.
Helping science find the evidence for God.
Chicken shits.
Helping science what to God?
Helping science find the evidence for God. Can anybody here offer any plausibility to the God concept?
You're a pussy.
You know what? I don't know if
You're
science.
A pussy.
I don't know if. Yes,
Please.
dear. I don't know if science can find God. I think. I mean, if
Jim, please.
How do you manage to get a nipple the size of the end of a whiskey bottle, Jim? How does that work out for you?
Anyway.